Now, a lot of people are saying how Robert Pattinson is on a generational one, whether that be him in The Odyssey, his upcoming Chris Hansen in Prime Time, the drama, and he's about to start as the record of this video filming of The Batman 2. Now, these are all great performances and critically acclaimed and box office hits. I think, in my opinion, his best performance to me remains the 2017 film Good Time, which this film was kind of a seminal moment in Pattinson's career and was one of the first films to solidify him as a serious actor, as previous to this he did film The Rover, which was one of his first serious roles post-Twilight. However, I believe Good Time was the film that did solidify how good of an actor he was, which in turn set up the films we see him do today. An important part of Pattinson's recent performances has been his ever-changing accent.
Delusions!
You see how this looks, right?
I have not come to offer you surrender,
which is no different in Good Time and is vital in the character's believability, which has been praised for its accuracy. Though I'm not from New York, I think you can tell a bad accent. For example, Sean Connery's horrific Irish accent in The Untouchables.
Because they won't give up the fight until one of you is dead.
And thus, Pattinson, in my opinion, is able to make the character feel believable, especially him opting for a less stereotypical or cartoonish accent done, especially considering Pattinson's real Londoner accent.
No, I mean, there's definitely some I haven't watched. But,
do you want to say which ones?
No.
Where in the film he has a Queen's accent, which is typically associated with working class blue collar type jobs.
Well, something just scared the shit out of me, man.
What?
I was sleeping with my dad down the hall.
Pattinson plays in the film Connie, who after a bank robbery goes wrong, his mentally impaired brother is sent to prison, and Connie does everything he can to get his brother back, which in order to do so, he basically causes chaos and destroys the lives of several people, ultimately leading to his own downfall. Which we see this in the opening scene, wherein he stops his brother from getting help during a therapy session, in which, in my opinion, we get some brilliant acting from Pattinson, wherein we see him with a scornful expression, and him shaking his head, as in his mind, the other people in the facility are not like his brother at all, whether that be mentally or physically. The scene brilliantly shows the type of person Connie is, self-centered, and whilst he does love his brother, it's more of a toxic love, as in his attempt to help his brother, he makes everything worse. This is made more obvious by the fact Connie sees Nick, his brother, as an extension of him rather than a person with thoughts and feelings, which we of course see Connie telling his brother what to do when he orders Nick to rip up the paper.
I wrote down all my stuff. Shut up then!
Yeah, this is my work. This is my stuff.
Another thing Pattinson really shines through on is the fact he has to play the villainous protagonist, which can be hard to pull off due to having to make sure the audience can either sympathise with you or has some reason to want to keep watching. Essentially charisma, as Connie, who he plays, is rather morally corrupt character, whether that be kissing a 16-year-old and thus manipulating her, of course, getting his brother arrested after a botched bank robbery, leading to his brother getting beaten up and hospitalised. He also beats up and knocks out a security guard and in turn drugs him with LSD, so the police think he's crazy and steals his clothes and belongings.
I don't know, I just heard a ton of noise outside, just walk in here and he's just laying there like this.
Now, the defining thing that humanises Pattinson's character is his love of his brother, which the song that was written for the movie states,
"The damned always act from love."
Thus, the key idea of the film is characters acting out of love, which is somewhat true. However, the filmmakers and Pattinson himself make that love more narcissistic, which ultimately Connie is. He sees Nick as almost an extension of himself, which is why during the opening scene he is so angry at Nick, as he feels he shouldn't be caged, which a key aspect of Connie is his fear of consequences and essentially being in prison, which is ultimately where he ends up. And despite these obvious flaws, Pattinson is able to keep you hooked with every wrong turn. As the walls continue to cave in on him, despite that, his stranger charisma is what hooks you, which Connie has that allows him to manipulate all these people around him. Now, maybe the best scene of the film, which showcases Pattinson's best acting, is the I am better than you scene, which it really exposes Connie's insecurities and him projecting them onto Ray, who Connie accidentally kidnapped thinking it was his brother, which Pattinson acts perfectly. His nervousness whilst realising how much time he could get, his cockiness in which he says,
I am better than you.
and him spewing about how Ray is a leech to society, despite Connie literally being that himself, as he leeches off his girlfriend's money and is desperate for money throughout the film, and the fact that Ray has gotten himself drunk, which, whilst not confirmed, there is a theory that perhaps Connie was high during the climax of the movie, which during the ending scene, Connie does look almost zoned out. Again, Connie says something is bad whilst he does something similar or the same. Thus, Connie projecting heavy about all his flaws, either in an almost cry for help or unknowingly, which Pattinson nails. And during the film's final scene, Connie gets arrested whilst Ray trying to escape falls off the apartment and dies, which when Connie is in the back of the car, we get this scene of sadness where Connie looks as though he's almost going to cry, as he now realises the damage he has inflicted on the people around him, and his fear of consequences and jail catching up to him, which Pattinson directly illustrates despite there being no dialogue, and in my opinion, in a realistic and not over-the-top Oscar baity way. He sells the scene perfectly. Overall, this is, in my opinion, the best and most important performance in Robert Pattinson's career. The film wasn't a seminal moment that led to what is being now called a generational run, which made people realise how good of an actor he was and would continue to be to the present, whether that be in The Lighthouse, Mickey 17, and the other movies I've mentioned have come out or are coming out this year. Though that is just my opinion, and if you prefer other Pattinson performances, that is perfectly valid too.